Welcome to Blacktop Rocks, the podcast, Ep.5. I'm GM Blacktop, and this is.
Corinn.
Hi, Corinn. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty
You're
good.
out on the West Coast. I think you went on a big bike ride yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, we had Port Alberni had their annual toy run. It was the
Okay.
41st. And I spent the day out there. We gathered at the falls at the starting point, all crammed in like sardines in the two
Wow.
parking lots and down the road. And then we headed off down the highways into Port Alberni, and there's a route through Port Alberni down to the Harbor Quay. And then up, it's this famous hill. They go up, flying up this big hill, and off to the fairgrounds, I guess we'll call them, to the venue where there's you take in all your toys. There's food trucks, there's vendors, there's bite games. It's an awesome time. And then they have a dance at night. And today they're supposed to be having a poker run. So yeah, the bike count. Oh, sorry.
Now, when you're going down through these roads and these streets, are there people at the side of the roads waving?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, really?
The streets on the highway, they pull off where they can, and in the city, it's just lined solid with people and
Really?
kids, and everybody's waving. They're all excited. It's an awesome experience. It's
Wow.
almost like a spiritual kind of a thing. So,
Well, 1,100 bikes is a ton of bikes, right?
Yeah. That's
Wow.
a lot, and we're
The
all
noise
squished
must be
in.
just amazing.
Yeah, it's funny when actually yesterday, what they did is they announced that they wanted everybody to wait for the horn before they started their bikes. In previous years when I've gone, they start up the bikes and it's just this big thunder of noise. And then you're getting carbon monoxide out because the parking lots are kind of a bit of a bowl. And so it's just you're getting smogged out. And of course you have the guys that have to rev their bikes and perform and all that kind of stuff. So
And every biker person brought toys, right?
Yeah, you bring a toy to donate, or you can donate cash. They take either. But yeah, they have the bleachers all set up in the auditorium, and they just pile up all the toys out there, and it's for all the unfortunate kids and I think they save them for Christmas time. Actually, is what they do.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
And what is the charity it's going to?
It's the Port Alberni Toy Run.
So it's just for underprivileged kids for Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
wow.
it's an awesome experience. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, that's great. How's your body? Was it a lot of riding?
Not a whole lot of riding really, because we rode from Nanaimo to the falls, and that's only about, I don't know, half hour, not even. And then the ride from the starting point at the falls to the venue, it's probably another 30 minutes. It's not that far. But
And when you're riding down the street and everybody's cheering at you and waving at you and you're waving back, do you feel kind of cool when that happened? Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Kind of like that. Builds your confidence up to like 750 points.
Well, maybe not in that sense, like giving you a confidence boost, but you feel amazing to be part of that experience and be contributing. And I mean, the smiling faces, everybody's cheering. It's just awesome to make everybody happy, especially the way things are going nowadays in the world and our lives and stuff. It's nice to have that moment to enjoy something and celebrate.
I used to have those moments when I was driving one of the trucks back when I had the company out of Memphis.
Uh-huh.
And all the trucks were all, done up and, my name and splashed all over. It was,
nice.
Four of them. A lot of times, four of them would go together.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be driving one of them, right? And so, we'd drive into a town or whatever, and that would be the same thing. Everybody's got their eyes peeled on you. And kinda,
yeah, no, it was nice. Actually, when we
who
were
he
headed,
is, don't know who he is, but man alive, this poor goddamn truck coming.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
One thing that was kind of nice yesterday is we were riding to Port Alberni. Traffic that was coming towards us out of Port Alberni, they were waving outside of their windows, and even the truckers were honking their horns as they went by. So,
wow.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah,
it's hard to get against the bike run. I mean, everybody knows it's a massive thing. So I think when
Yeah.
people have to delay their day for a few minutes to let the bikes go
Yeah.
by, I don't think anybody
Yeah.
really minds that,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they get a permit and they actually close all the streets down for us too. The fire department has the streets blocked so
Wow,
that
so that's got to
we
be a
just
pretty
we
big.
just yeah, we ride through. We don't have to stop for
Yeah,
traffic
yeah.
lights or nothing. Just go. Yeah.
How about pedestrians?
I didn't see any of those trying to cross.
No, that would probably be a mistake. It'd be like being
A little
trampled by
bit.
a herd of uh, bison or something rolling
Yeah.
through town. You know. Oh
Yeah,
wow, that's great.
in last year's run, we did have a car cut one of the bikes off. She turned left in front of him and hit him. So that
Oh
was kind
really?
of bad. Yeah, that was kind of
Was
bad.
the
But
guy okay?
overall, yeah, he did get banged up a bit. But yeah, overall, he was all right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And did you? I guess they make you wear your helmet still.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's law.
Too bad they wouldn't let you drop the helmet for that. I mean, you can drop
Hmm.
in Michigan. You can drop your helmet. And you
Yeah.
can in Ohio and Florida. And there's
Yeah.
so many states that you don't have to wear, which never made sense to me at all.
I,
But it is what
I
it is.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I keep even like when I've been in the states and rode through the states that helmets are not mandatory. I still wear mine. It's a safety thing. I mean, it
It
takes
is.
1 second, and you could be down, and you're not gonna come back from hitting your head on the pavement. Let's put it that way.
Well, I've always said that when they sell a pair of roller skates, they should sell it with a helmet
Yeah,
because those kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they get on these roller skates, and what's the first thing
yeah,
they do? They ass plant, and
yeah.
of course at that age they don't know how to keep their neck or their chin
Right.
tucked in, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the danger. You know what's really funny about ice skating and roller skating, because it's the same kind of a thing. You slap your head back and for helmets. When I was in the Philippines, there was a big mall in Manila. It's called MOA, which stands for
Mhm.
Mall of Asia.
Mhm.
And the first time I walked in there, and you got to remember, it's 21, 25, 30 degrees outside. Doesn't matter what month.
Yeah.
You walked in there and into the big kind of the foyer middle section of a mall, where they do the Santa Claus, they do
Mhm.
carnival, little,
Mhm.
anyway. So there's a freaking ice skating rink in there. And all these kids, newbies that have never been on
Oh
skates,
no.
are trying to work their way around this ice skating rink with real skates on
Oh no.
and no helmets
Oh dear.
on any of the kids. And I'm thinking, are you
S-
kidding me right
Scary.
now?
Yeah.
You know how many kids are going to ER today?
Oh boy. Yeah.
And it was such an odd thing, ice skating in Manila, but it was an
Yeah.
indoor thing. I guess they had something that kept the ice,
Yeah.
frozen, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Weird, 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 weird. But anyway, yes, helmets are very important.
Yes. All gear.
Hockey, I mean, I wore them all. Hockey, I had to wear a helmet
Yeah.
all the time. I think that skiing, biking, skateboarding. I mean, nowadays I think people are pretty understanding of helmets. I think most people follow
Most,
those
yeah.
rules, right?
I'm an ATGAT rider, which is all the gear all the time. And I mean it's a personal choice. If I've got friends that don't wear gear all the time, and that's their choice, but I choose to wear my gear all the time because it doesn't take like it can happen at any time. And when I was racing, I had a crash, and yeah, the gear works. It definitely works.
So
So
when you go all gear, you wear your Kevlar, all the bulletproof
yeah.
shit, everything, right?
Yeah, like my helmet's a full face, and I've got the padding in the like I've got Kevlar pants. I wear the chaps, the leather jacket. It's got
And are you
gear
bulletproof
padding in
head
it.
to toe?
I don't think there's no such thing as bulletproof when it comes to
Well,
motorcycling.
I thought if you wear Kevlar, that's bulletproof.
Oh, you mean literally? No,
Yeah,
I don't think it is. No.
that'd be good if you were bulletproof. You wouldn't get assassinated out there sometime.
Oh dear. Oh, that's not a good choice right now.
I'm telling you, they should have had bulletproof on that poor fella Charlie Kirk the other day. That was
Yes.
terrible. Yeah.
Yes, that is awful.
Father of two, nice, nice,
Yeah.
very, very spiritual home, and
Hmm.
the thing is that it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on when it comes to something
Right.
like that. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy had opinions, and a lot of
Yeah.
people agreed with him, and a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he deserves a bullet in his neck.
No. No.
You
I
know,
believe that everyone's entitled to their opinion. You may agree or not agree, but nobody deserves to be shot or killed
no,
because of their opinion. That's just, I don't know. It's
no.
horrible.
So I think a lot of people saw it as a really dark day
Yeah.
and then to find out. Well, this is the kind of thing that the pattern that I'm seeing a little bit of. The last three big attempts, there were two on Trump, and there was one on,
Hmm.
of course, the successful one on Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
The guy that shot Trump in Butler, he's a young guy.
Hmm.
This guy was a young guy. He was only
Hmm.
22, I think,
Yeah. 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 I read
and
that.
I believe he was in a relationship with a transvestite, or a
Hmm.
man that was trying to be a woman.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I think that's where a lot of the anger came from. But
Hmm. Maybe.
there's got to be something done about this. The new people, or the younger people of today, are really taking difference of opinion as a kind of a violent sparking thing. Like
Yeah.
we were
Almost
never
like an,
we had yeah, we had differences of opinion when we were growing
yeah.
up, but we didn't think that someone should die over it.
No, no, not at all. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out where that's coming from, actually.
They're taking it very personal, a very
They are,
personal
and I'm
attack on
wondering where that's
themselves.
coming from. Why are they doing that? Like, what would make you say that guy needs to die? Like,
I
and then and
I
then and
don't
then you go
know.
online and people are actually celebrating it. That's like, are
Oh,
you
I saw
kidding
some
me?
of that. That was awful. Yeah.
Like, who would do that? Like,
Yeah.
why do that?
I I'm
Just
sorry, I don't
because
have
he
the
had a difference
answer.
of opinion.
Yeah.
Just because and
Yeah.
he was a debater. He's a pro debater. You could barely get a word in edgewise sometimes with him, because he was definitely a pro debater. But it
Yeah.
was up to them that the minute they take the microphone to
Hmm.
debate him, they're in his realm. They're there.
Yeah.
If you don't want
Yeah.
to debate the guy, don't pick up the microphone,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
the ones that do pick up the microphone, it's kind of like all the gloves are off. Whatever he says to you, or
Yeah.
tries to shame you, and he didn't always do that. He wasn't an asshole. But my God, when I heard that, I was deeply disturbed in the fact that A, that
Yeah.
he was killed for
Yeah.
speaking his mind, and B, I was disturbed that the young people, or some of the young people of today, thought that was just awesome to be shot like that. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding?
There's
So it's
no
kind of scary.
society, and I don't know why this has happened, but they don't value life anymore.
Yeah, it's there's
It's
something wrong
just,
about it.
maybe it's the video games or so, I don't know. Like, uh, they've lost sense of reality.
Well, when I was a kid, I knew my mom was one way, I knew my dad was another. You probably had
Mhm.
the same situation, and all kids did. But because of the internet, maybe kids are being uh, uh, introduced to political opinions and
Mhm.
conservative versus liberal opinions. Maybe they're being introduced that too young, before they can really accept what it really means, right?
Yeah.
So if they're
Yeah.
being introduced those kind of opinions, those kind of theories, or whatever the case may be, at 10, 12 years old, that's not the climate we lived in. We At 12 years old,
No.
we didn't know what the frick was going on politically.
We were still
We didn't
playing
know what
with
was going
toys.
on with abortion. Yeah, we didn't know what was going on with
Yeah.
abortion, or racism, or none of that. So maybe
Yeah.
the internet has forced that down the throats of all these young people, and
Yeah.
they don't have the maturity to accept the fact that people have different opinions. They take
Yeah.
it, like you said, take it personally. Next thing
Yeah.
you know, people are getting shot. People are cheering somebody's death. Um, I think there might be something to be said about that. Is that they're being
Yeah.
introduced to affairs like that way too early, maybe.
Yeah. It's too much, too deep of thought, if that makes sense, for
Yeah,
their age, like
yeah,
their maturity, I should say. And social media is everywhere. Like, you can find uh, all sorts of good and bad information. Now there's
Yeah,
AI that you look
yeah,
on videos
yeah.
on Facebook or Instagram, and is that real video or is that an AI? It's hard to tell sometimes.
And how's an
So a lot
8-year-old
of it's
supposed to
fake.
determine that?
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
won't determine it. They'll unless they
Yeah.
have good parenting, like
Yeah.
really good parenting to help them really sit down and understand the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
That whole generation is messed up because that they and it's already starting because
Yeah.
the AI so I think that I think the whole thing is dangerous. One
Yeah.
thing I was happy to see is that and it was I shouldn't say I was happy to see it, but it was a big deal that the president flew flags at half mast. I thought that was pretty amazing. It was a bigger
Yeah.
deal than some people think. Some people
Yeah.
think, ah, just a guy. He wasn't. He
Mhm.
actually was. He was a big deal, and
Yeah.
I think he represented a lot of the country, right? So,
Yeah. To be honest, I hadn't really heard of him before,
oh, I
all
knew
of
him.
this. So, um, I've seen of obviously more and more about him, but I didn't really
Hmm.
know him or what he was about before that. We've never
Yeah.
talked about him before either.
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I knew. To Turning Point USA and it was really designed to go out to try to interact with the college students because
Hmm.
typically college and university, a lot of college and university was always I don't know, they were kind of grooming them to become a certain way of ideology, and his conservative approach was designed to kind of break that mold a bit and get in there
Yeah.
and give debate to the situation rather than just, you know, raise them up to believe this is the ideology we have to believe because this is what the college
Right.
professors are saying, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And really,
So
isn't that
anyway,
what debating is about? Is bringing differences
yeah.
of
I mean,
opinion together to discuss? That's what a
right,
debate is about.
right. And why should my opinion being different than someone else's mean that I need to take a bullet?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
almost
It's
that
wrong.
just I can't even think about that as being
Yeah.
even slightly making sense.
Yeah.
It's not like he was saying things like it'd be different if he was going out blasting racism. This
Yeah.
color or that color person needs to be,
Hmm.
leave the country, or it wasn't about racism because he wasn't a racist.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people did is they misunderstood the guy. Like when he would
Could be.
talk about
Yeah.
DEI, he would talk about, he would ask, like literally have a debate with a black person and say,
Hmm.
why did that black person get the job? Because they were
Hmm.
black. And he said, as a black person, wouldn't you rather get the job because you deserve to have the job? Shouldn't the job
Exactly.
be skin colorless? Shouldn't
Yeah.
there be any skin color attached to a job that the
Based on
merit of what you can do, that's what's going to get you the
yeah,
job.
based on
Anyway,
your
so the
skill
black guy
set.
ended up agreeing. Yeah, based on your skill set, based on your, whatever it is you need to take with your personality. I mean,
Hmm. Hmm.
anyway, so the whole thing was just kind of messy. It was disturbing, and
Yeah.
I think that the country is going to move forward in a
Hmm.
little different way because of it. Because I think a lot of
Yeah.
people learned the hard way that this is what's going to happen if we don't put
Hmm.
a curb on this thing.
Yeah. I've of course, social media, you see all sorts of comments from the
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing is staged. It's a setup, and now some are
yeah,
saying they need a civil war in the U.S. and
yeah,
to
yeah,
straighten things out, and all sorts of comments are flying around now. So who knows what's going to be next?
yeah. That's the one thing I don't. One of the things I don't like about the internet is it's reckless.
Yeah, yeah. There's no
They put children and adults in the same realm of topics to understand and to deal with them. If 12-year-old isn't going to deal with transgenderism the same way a 22 or a 25-year-old is going to
yeah,
think about it. So if
yeah, or
you're
40. Yeah,
exposing the or 50 or whatever, if you're
yeah,
exposing these kids that young, you're making a mistake.
yeah,
So comes back to
yeah,
parenting, Corinne. What are
yeah,
the parents allowing?
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I happen to agree with parents that have limited time for cell phones and it's normal
Hmm.
for their kid to lose their phone for half a day, where the
Yeah.
kid sees that as normal as opposed to you got to be kidding me. You're not taking my phone.
Some
If
adults
you
need to
take
lose
my
their phone
phone,
for
I'm
half a
running.
day.
Yeah, well, most probably everybody does. But if you start
Put it
doing
away.
that, then it starts to sound like communism or some shit. You really
Yeah,
can't make rules like that. But I
yeah,
think persons should volunteer to give up their phone a few hours a day,
yeah,
not just when they're sleeping, and do other things, hobbies or
yeah,
exercising or sports or, even kids,
yeah,
recommend that the kids don't have the phone today. They're going out to play football all day, or half a
yeah,
day or whatever.
yeah,
I think if
yeah.
they did some of that, I think it would help the 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 general problem. And I'm hoping that this tragedy will open up some eyes and let them get into a situation where they can start
Mhm,
doing some of that
mhm.
stuff.
Well, even yesterday at the toy run, you look around and everybody's got their phone, and
Yeah.
I admit I had mine with me. I was taking videos, I was taking pictures
Right.
because I
Sure.
I do posts on my social media
Right.
about motorcycling and that. So,
Right.
but yeah, everybody's got their phones, and people were posting live, like they video and boom, it's on Facebook right away. So it's
Yeah.
just a big part of our lives, and maybe it's a bit of a mistake for it to be that big of a part.
But that's celebrating a good thing. But the
Yeah,
fact that you
yeah.
can do the same thing with controversial things, you can do the same
Mhm.
thing with a
Mhm.
controversial subject
Oh,
as you
for
can with
sure.
a toy
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Toy run is all positive, but the
Yeah.
controversial stuff just winds people up to have negative
Yeah.
thoughts, anger, the whole nine yards. So I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that whole thing gets a bit of a cap put on it, because I think that it's getting out of hand when people start getting
Yeah.
killed for an opinion that
Yeah.
that isn't against any one person. It's just an opinion of general things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
anyway, yeah. So that was a big. I know Fox News was just devastated because even Megyn
Yeah.
Kelly and some of these people were all friends with the guy, right? Like for
Yeah.
years, because he'd
Yeah. He's
started that
def
turning point when he was 18 years old,
Oh,
and
wow.
he's now 31. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was friends with the president. He was friends with all the media people, especially
Yeah.
conservatives. He
Mhm.
would speak at the conservative events. I mean, Jesus. I mean, two little kids, beautiful
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
and turned out that some people stood up. The woman that owns the Detroit Lions said that she was going to pay for his kids' tuition for college for the rest of their
Wow.
lives.
Wow.
Then,
Nice.
then a player for the Vikings, Minnesota Vikings,
Mhm.
the wide receiver Washington, I think, uh, stands up and says that he's going to pay all of those two kids' expenses and education expenses for the rest of their lives, or for her. Well, I don't know if he said the rest of their lives, but it was,
Mhm.
and because he makes like big money a year, right? Millions
Yeah.
and millions.
Athlete.
But I found that odd too. Not odd, but
Mhm.
but kind of nice. But Jesus,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. I guess the reason they do it is because they had a respect for the guy. Maybe I don't
Mhm. Maybe. Yeah. They
know.
want to look
Yeah,
out for
not all
the
players
children.
are anti-conservative. Some players are very conservative and they get in trouble for it too. And
Mhm.
some players are not conservative and they kind of follow the line of that ideology. But a lot of them are conservative, which basically a lot of people don't
Mhm.
even know the difference of
Mhm.
conservative and progressive, or liberal or whatever.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
basically is. I look at it as a common sense thing. I don't follow any one ideology. I follow stuff that makes sense to me. So,
Mhm.
for example, getting the border locked down where you can't let 20 million people that you don't know who they are in, that's
Mhm.
common sense to lock that border down. It's common sense not to put men in women's sports. That's common sense. So, if
Mhm.
if you agree with five of those things, which are conservative ideas, uh, people would say, well, then you're conservative. Well, I guess I'm conservative in certain ways, but in
Mhm.
other ways, I might feel differently. So I don't really attach
Yeah.
myself to any ideology. I just attach myself to stuff that makes sense to me as common sense. I
Common
think a
sense.
lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, more people are starting to think that way. I think it's common sense that
Mhm.
runs me, not any one party.
Yeah,
You know.
which which makes more sense.
Yeah, it's common sense that we have to get rid of these cartels. That's common sense. They're killing
Mhm.
our people. They're invading our world with outside interests and outside crime and murdering people by the thousands. It's common sense to want to get that to stop.
Yeah,
My mind.
yeah,
So anyway, that's about where I go. That's as far as I go politically. I don't get into any one party. I don't think you do too much either,
yeah.
right?
No, no, I've years ago, I tried understanding politics, and I can't. It's too confusing, and, I don't know. It's a shit show, put it mildly.
Yeah, it is a shit show. So many controversies and so many things that you don't believe. Is this true? Could this possibly
A
be
lot of
true that they did
times
this?
when there's, like, say, an election coming up, they don't they don't try to, show us what they're going to do for us. They're slamming each other,
Yeah,
which does nothing to help us decide who we wanna vote for. They're
right,
just, playing games with each other, so that
right.
just I don't have patience for that.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just a bad thing. And politics probably should stay out of the Hollywood opinion circles because well, that's not helping anybody.
Yeah,
Who cares what
yeah,
this person or that person thinks? But the world is funny. It's just now it's all about influencers, right? I mean, who are you influenced
yeah,
by? I'm influenced by a
yeah,
band or by a speaker or by a movie star or by somebody on TikTok, as opposed to people just
yeah.
following what makes sense to them. It's like there's a lot of
Mhm.
lost people that don't even know what to think anymore. It seems.
True, yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know.
I have a couple of friends that are influencers on social media, and
Do you?
yeah, they have their subjects, and they promote it, or businesses and all sorts of different things, and they
Right.
that's their thing. They promote those particular items, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See if it continues. I kind of wonder if it's going to kind of die back a bit.
I hope it gets a hold of itself because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. We have to uh, we have to get a hold of these generation gaps and try to close them up a bit
Hmm.
because it seems like the younger
Yeah,
generation, because their babysitters typically are electronic devices,
true, very
and
true.
in our day that wasn't the case. So we had
No,
parents' influence, we had influence of going out to see your friends. You had to use a payphone to make a call. And I'm not saying that we should
yeah,
go back to the old ways, but when you've got a cell phone that's being driven by 28, kind of opinions that are challenging opinions to have, and that's what your kid's listening to all day because he likes that person
yeah,
or likes that person. My
yeah,
God, that's you might be raising a little monster,
possibly, yeah,
and turns
yeah,
out that here we have 22-year-old kid's just not even out of college yet. And did he actually think he'd get away with it? Like, of course not. But he hated that guy more than having the freedoms of life for the rest of his life. Well, not
yeah,
the rest of his life. It isn't going to be long because in the state of Utah, they have the death penalty. Pretty sure he's going down quick,
probably, yeah, probably.
And so yeah, it was tragedy, but we would love to hear comments from anybody that says what we just talked about. It'd be nice to hear from some of our people about what they think about it, stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. They can
That's just like,
email us at
yeah,
jam black or blacktoprockspodcast at gmail.com.
well, yeah, we'd like to hear from you for sure, and we'll try to get
Yeah.
to any of the questions you have.
Yep, for sure.
It's just like music, like when we were raised up, we had
Hmm.
bands and singers or whatever that we followed. I remember, and of course, that's just a male, even became a male and female thing. I remember when I was growing up, I liked, David Bowie and,
Hmm.
AC/DC and Def Leppard and all these people. But when and,
Yeah.
Elvis and, blah, blah, blah. Where my sisters, they were into more, the Bay City Rollers or, Boney M or,
Yeah, yeah.
so it was a different, Rod Stewart or whatever case. So it was people
Mhm.
people had different ideas, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
I
anyway,
had my favorites too that I listened to. Um, the 80 I don't I guess I see this on social media a little bit too, how the music from the 80s was a big kind of a big time, and a lot of the
was
bands, like, through then that were, quite popular, and then, like, your I'll call them traditional ones, like AC/DC that have been around forever, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
still enjoy that music too. I love
Well,
all music, so it's a
it
big
seems like
influence.
that era of music had such a powerful punch that it transformed itself
Mhm.
into timeless, timeless status. Where it doesn't matter if it was the '80s or the '90s or the 2000s or 2020,
Yeah,
people gravitated towards music
yeah,
from that era. And it's kind of interesting as to
yeah.
why that happens because I'm not sure. I don't think that continued. If you look at the band, what's going on today in bands? Those on a live perspective, other than country music, because that kind of has its own thing. But when it comes to classic rock and stuff, a lot of those bands like Helix and AC/DC and all those guys, they're
Mhm.
Rolling Stones. They're old and they're still touring, and people still want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yep,
So it's a kind of an interesting timepiece for music and how it changed in that era that it became so
yeah,
powerful. You know, um,
yeah,
I
yeah, for
was
sure.
looking at a picture the other day on YouTube, and it was of Kurt Cobain and Sinead O'Connor and Kurt Cobain's wife, Courtney Love, or whatever they call her. And I mean, back in the day, that Sinead O'Connor, she was terribly. Uh, uh, there was a lot of scandal that went around. Not scandal so much, but a lot of
Oh, yeah,
controversy that went around her because if she was an Irish person, and I
yeah.
guess she was anti-war, and that's understandable. And Kurt Cobain, he was the guy that
Mhm.
didn't want to follow anybody's rules, and he ended up dead. So yeah, I don't know, and he was with
Mhm.
Nirvana, of course. So it's just such
Yeah.
an interesting read to look back at some of the icons of
Yes.
music, the Freddie Mercury's and the Elton Johns and
Mm.
the
Yeah,
uh, so many people, Jimi Hendrix, all these guys that had huge
yeah,
influences on music. I think Freddie Mercury's got to be one of the ones at
yeah.
the top. He has to be. He changed
Probably,
music.
yeah, I
That
would say
guy.
so
He
too.
changed the way music was seen. That's
Yeah.
for sure. He actually introduced
They
him
all
being
had
a
a
gay
a
man,
a voice.
big
Yeah,
time,
and
and
when
him
I say
being a
voice,
gay
I
man.
obviously the singers, but they yeah, yeah,
Well, him being a gay man, he's
yeah,
walking
they
around in leotards on stage, and he's like, "I'm a gay man. I'm walking around in
Yeah,
leotards. I act gay. I
yeah.
talk gay. And you know what, everybody? You're gonna
Mm,
love me." And guess what? He was right.
yeah.
In an
They did.
era where gay wasn't
Yeah,
accepted, right? So,
yeah,
like that was a massive feat that he did for the gay community, for music. I mean,
yeah,
just a mass. He
yeah.
changed the world. That guy, you know. So
Yeah, he did.
that's the kind of
Yeah,
power music from those eras had. Look at the Beatles and
yeah.
Elvis and
Mhm.
just massive amounts of
Yeah.
power that changed the landscape of social thinking and entertainment across the globe. So I think that it was a big
Mhm.
big era for music. And this to this day is still
Yeah,
big. A lot of kids like
yeah,
CCR. A lot of kids like the Rolling Stones.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, and you think of the music from the '40s or the whatever. I think it started in the '50s when the rock and roll started, but in the '40s, you don't hear people say, "I want to hear some, Ella Fitzgerald." Nobody's listening. No young kids are
No,
listening to that. I don't think.
no, no.
So
Not that we know of anyway.
incidentally, Ella Fitzgerald was that one that ship that sunk up there in Lake Superior. Oh,
Okay,
wait
that
a
was
minute,
like
that was the
3
Edmund
episodes ago.
Fitzgerald.
Stop.
That's all right. I'm not sure I'll ever let you live that one down.
No, you probably won't.
Probably
You don't
won't.
have to mention it every episode, though.
Yeah, I didn't mention
Just
it last
kidding.
episode. I don't think, did I? No. Anyway,
Yes, you.
so I
Yes,
think
you
it's
did.
all important. But
I
oh,
think
did
I
I?
did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably did.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was me.
Well, there you go. It's probably you. So what else is going on?
Yeah.
Have
What
you
the
had
heck?
any
God,
strange events with
strange
work or
event? No,
anything?
no, just plugging along. Um, we're in September now, obviously, so gardening is going to start winding down, and I'm getting things ready for the winter. Get things
What are you going
cleaned
to do
up and
for the
wrapped
winter?
up for winter. So, um, work on music,
Yeah,
on GM
no
Blacktop's
biking,
music.
no gardening. Yeah,
Um,
thank you for that.
I have clients that I still go to as long as it's not snowing. I can still do
Oh,
gardening out
okay.
here.
Okay.
And the weeds do keep growing all winter. So I do have some clients that stay on through the winter. I actually picked up a couple new clients last week, so I'll be working with them for a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
so just kind of plugging along and planning ahead for next year
Yeah,
and getting
and
things
don't we?
ready
I think
between the
we have a
gardening and the
new.
music.
Yeah, we have a new. Speaking of music, we have a new release coming.
Came out on Friday, yeah, in
Oh, just for
Razorback.
just past Friday. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Razorback song. Yeah,
yeah,
I get some people
yeah.
talking about that song a little bit.
Good
It's
thing you had me
lyrically,
keeping
it's a
you in
little bit.
line.
Thank God, if I didn't have you, I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I might not know even where I was. I'm not a young guy anymore, you know.
Yeah. No
So
comment.
yeah, I might, I
I'm
might
not
not
gonna
know
get
where
in
the
there.
hell I am.
Yeah,
Even when you are
you'd be
telling me
lost
where I am,
herding
I
kittens.
question it. Are you sure I'm there? Yeah, you're there. How do you know I'm there? Because I'm looking at you, for God's sakes.
At least I
You're
think you are.
there, there, there. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, no, I've just been busy. This week I haven't had a very busy week on the road, but I've had other things I had to do and stuff. So I'll get back on the road next
Mhm,
week. And winter's
mhm.
coming, so I'm not looking forward to that too much with the driving. But hey, you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
You know,
you have to throw some chains on those tires.
if the ass end turns out one way, you turn the wheels to where the fishtail is, and that's what you do. And
Yeah,
slow the hell down. And I wish more people would slow the
yeah,
hell down on bad roads
of
there, because
course.
some of the people that drive in the bad roads, they're driving like
Yeah,
maniacs, 75 mile an hour, or 110 kilometers an hour
yeah,
on a road that you should be doing like 50 or
yeah,
80 kilometers an hour, and they're doing like 120
yeah,
or 110. And it's like, are you people insane?
yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, I know.
It
Out
is. It
here on the
is.
coast, it's like that too. They two snowflakes fall and people are in a panic. And then when we do have ice and snow, they don't slow down. They just keep going at that speed. I don't know. They kind
Yeah.
of lose their brains,
Yeah.
which is too bad. And then you get the accidents and shit show.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, man. But it is what it is. So anyway, but yeah. So that's my plan. Go back tomorrow, I guess, and you're going back to gardening tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll be back at it tomorrow. So
Yeah.
got a busy week this week getting things wrapped up. So
Do
yeah,
you?
but no,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Okay.
Need to be
Okay.
busy.
Well, I'm glad we had a nice chance to talk today. That was good. I hope
Yeah,
everybody in
yeah.
our
A little break in
GM
our
Blacktop
schedules.
podcast world is having a good time with things too. Keeping busy on the road or whatever job you're doing.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to talking to you all
Hmm.
again. That's for sure. Or seeing you all again, and hopefully we can start getting some bigger comments in and
Yep.
whatnot. And of course, I guess any of
Yeah.
these podcasts are on the website too, right?
I'll be putting them on our website. Right now they're on Spotify and YouTube.
Oh,
And
okay.
be sure, please subscribe. Get our subscriber numbers up would be awesome when you're on the YouTube. And I do plan on getting them onto the other platforms as well. Just have
Yeah.
to. We're working out through a few bugs with Riverside, and then I'll get going
Are
on
we?
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. Well, that's good then. Well, you have a nice day, and have a nice day for the rest of the day. And we will talk soon. And thank you very much for listening, everybody. We enjoy having a little chat and knowing that you're there listening and whatnot, and possibly giving us comments and stuff. That's really helpful. So thank you very much. All right, we'll talk to you later. See you, Corinne.
Bye.
Yeah, the blacktop made me this way. Yeah, the blacktop made me this way. Yeah, the blacktop made me this way.